All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and I have got Gordon. I will reach out to you a little bit later after this call. I've been actually just busy getting something done, which I'm actually going to share in this call today. John, you know what, John? Absolutely perfect, because I got a couple of different things I can share with you. One of our clients yesterday here, Gwen Dorsey, who's actually crushing it with our training here. She said, after sending the thinking about waiting emails, I got a buyer that made a cash bid and woke up to an acceptance to close before New Year's. And so she sent one of the emails, which I'm going to point you to here in a minute, sent it to her database and got a buyer responded. Turned out to be a cash buyer, even better. And they made an offer on a property and they got the offer accepted, and she's going to close before New Year's. That all happened within about a 4 to 5 day time period. So sent the email, buyer responded. They went and made an offer on a property. Not sure if the buyer had already seen it or whatever it was, but she got the offer accepted, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I've got something even better, because this guy, Patrick Morgan, I wonder if Patrick, if you're on this call, let me know. I'd love to. So there is a post that I am telling you, am I stuck or isn't that Scott? Are we good? Everybody good here in what we're doing? Are you seeing my screen? You should see me. I'm this guy here. And you should also see my screen. So let me know that we're good to go. Jane, are you good? So before we get into the Facebook ads, I'm going to point you in the right direction here. I've got a video where I walk through this, but this is a social media post and there is an email. Give me a second. I'm going to bring up the email and I'm going to show you this email. Send this email to your database and you will get, I can't guarantee it. I can't promise anything, but I can almost guarantee if you send this email to your database today, homeowners and sellers in particular, I would send it to everybody, because a lot of the buyers, maybe a third of them, have a home and the subject line is your home in 2026. And it's just 2 lines, really 1 sentence. Hello, first name. I am preparing and sending my 100 plus point home marketing plan to clients this week who are thinking about selling this year. Let me know if you'd like a copy. 1 line, right? Essentially, it's 1 sentence and let me know if you'd like a copy. There's no landing page. There are no links. It's just a picture of your 100 point home marketing plan, not a plan for a specific listing necessarily, although you could if you wanted to. Maybe you have one for a sold listing that you still got around, or you can just create one. And I'm going to walk you through that real quickly here before we get into doing the Facebook ads. But I'm telling you right now, send this email. And Gordon, I want you to do this too, because somebody will send this email in the next hour after we get off the call. So in the next couple of hours, and you will have people requesting copies of it. And I've got a video. The video is right here. I'm going to take this link. I'm going to drop it into the StreamYard chat. Hopefully you can. So Rob, you know how amazing this is, right? You know how amazing this listing presentation is. We do it for expireds. We do it for FSBOs. We do it for canceleds. We do it for our seller leads. And this is a way, and you can take the exact same text in the email and the same picture in the email, put it on your social media. All right. You could do a quick little video talking about it. Just keep it super, super short. You can put it up on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Let me go ahead and drop. In fact, Rob is also somebody that's joining us in our expireds, and he actually listed an expired via email. His email is a little bit more involved, but Rob has also gotten listings from what we are training on. And Rob, I'd love to get a video from you about our training on this, man. You're a great agent, and I would love to get a video from you that we could share with others about our training and how easy it is to get listings when you follow the training that we do. We have a lot of great agents that are in our expired seller lead group that share great things. And we're coming up towards the end of the year. A lot of people are taking time off, but there are people that between now and the end of the year can easily put $1 million in the pipeline, if not more, like literally 2 million in your pipeline. We had a client just a couple of weeks ago. He went out door knocking 3 to 4 homes, 3 days in a row, put $2.7 million in the pipeline. We got a video of him. It's on our YouTube channel here as well. But after we get off this call, take a look at this. You can see again, the text in the email is the same as the text in the social media post. And to do that, what you're going to do is log into listingstoleads.com. If you're not a client, sign up for a free trial. And again, I'm going to get to the Facebook ads in about 3 to 4 minutes. But to create that image, what you would do is, and you can see here, I've got a listing in my account. So I've got my just listeds, I got my pendings, I got my open houses here. And I've also got a couple that you're going to see where the status is listing presentation. So and I'm going to show you, but I just click the green add listing button. I change the status to listing presentation. And instead of the street address, so there you go, status is listing presentation. And instead of the street address for street, and I show this in the video that I just put into the chat, for the street address for the street, I put the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get. In city, I put homes sold in. And in state, I put Placer and El Dorado counties. So Rob, you may put New Mexico. For state, you might just put New Mexico or the greater Albuquerque area. Gordon, you might put Pensacola in the Florida Panhandle, right? Something like that in this area. These first 2 fields, street, that should be the same for everybody. Again, the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get. City, homes sold in. And then under state, we've got Placer and El Dorado counties. I clicked save. When you're adding the listing, you'll click save and go to the next step. For the photos, I added a photo. What I did is I took a photo of, could be one of your current listings. It could be a sold listing of yours. What I did is I ran it through Chat GPT, and I will show you. Let me show you what I did. So you're not going to see the original photo, but the original photo was above this in chat. And I just said, this is a photo of a home for sale in my area. I want to use this as a reference for a new but similar photo that people living in the area would recognize as a home in the area, even though it is AI generated. Please change the color of the home, the landscaping, the deck above the garage. This home had a deck above the garage, as you can see, and window placement and garage door. And so it gave me this photo right here. I resubmitted the request one more time because the trees in the back were the exact same. And I said, that is great, but let's only do one garage door. The first photo it gave me had the same exact garage doors as the original. And you can see the new one only has one garage door. And those trees that were in the background are now out. So if the owner were to look, and it could be one of my old sold listings, it could be one of my current listings. I just want a photo of a home that people in the area where I live would look at this photo and go, oh yeah, that's a home in our area. I don't know which home it is, but I recognize as that looking like a home that is in our area. And again, if you want to use a photo of a sold listing of yours, go for it. But what that will give you is the flip book. So this is great to use for other use cases. But for what we're doing here, is I clicked download JPEG. So I downloaded the JPEG. So there's a JPEG of each page in the entire flip book. There's also a PDF version, but I just took the JPEG. I printed the first page only, so just the cover. All right. I printed the cover. I put it on my countertop. I took a photograph, and then I used that photograph in my social media post, and I used that photograph in the email. Does that make sense, Robert? Or Rob? I'm sorry. Rob, does that make sense? Gordon, you can literally have this done in 5 minutes. The longest part of this whole thing is going to be if you're going to use ChatGPT for image creation and waiting for the PDF to generate. It takes 2 minutes. And I'm telling you, Rob, I want to hear from you. And Gordon, I want to hear from you. Get this done today, because I know between the two of you, you will at least get 1 or 2 listing presentations, and you'll probably put at least 2 homes in your pipeline, or probably Q1. Think of the fact that 5% of all homeowners sell every year. And if that is the case, I know 2 of you have quite a good database, and this will get people responding back to you, because every single person that is even possibly thinking about selling in the next 1 to 12 months is going to request a copy of this. The reason this is going to work for you is because you are letting people know that you're working on this currently, that you are preparing and sending your 100 plus point home marketing plan to clients. So you've already got people that are in the hopper, all right, this week, who are thinking about selling this year. So that is going to help qualify the people that are in your database, any of them. This is not a equity update offer. This is not a home value offer. This is a actual plan. And our clients who use this know that when you use this in a listing presentation, you don't argue about commission. You don't argue about the pricing, because they explicitly trust you, because you have shown them something that no other agent is showing them, which is, how are you going to get my home sold? How are you different from every other agent? All right. These are some of the most important questions on a seller's mind. And when you can answer those questions in such a way that they have utter and complete confidence in that answer, in that what you showed them, these other things, like your commission, what you think it should be priced at, become much less argumentative, because they're going, obviously, this guy knows what he's doing. The dude just walked in, the woman, the lady, the guy just walked in, and they laid out a 24 to 26 page, depending if you got your introduction or due coming soon, a 24 to 26 page plan that is interactive, that is ready to execute right now. He showed me my home on every single image in this thing. The links are clickable. I'm sorry, you can't see. There we go. The links are clickable. The QR codes are scannable. They can scan the QR code. They can bring up their property website. They can see their home right in there. And so what you're going to do, Rob and Gordon, whoever else, when people respond back, and again, it's all in the video, you're going to offer, first, you're going to qualify. You're going to say, hey, thank you for requesting the plan, just so I can have a little bit more information to better help you out. Are you thinking about selling in the spring season or maybe a little bit later? Let them, respond back to you, and then offer them a custom version where their home is in every single image, so they can better see what their home would look like in your marketing ecosystem. Are we clear on that? All right. I'm telling you right now. And then just take the exact same image, take the exact same text, and do a social media post. You can put that on your Facebook page. All right. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions on that. That's going to be a winner. And Gordon, we can talk about that a little bit later when we get together. I will ping you, but maybe like early afternoon, my time, like maybe an hour or so after I get off this call, we can chat a little bit. John says, and excuse me, let me put the chat online here. Scott, is this live chat about how to place ads and more about? Yes, totally. Dude, I'm telling you right now, send that email. That's going to help you convert with seller leads. Now, to Gwen's post, remember we looked at Gwen's post a little bit earlier at the start of this call? When you log into Listings to Leads, scroll down. There is a section on your account called Database Email Blast. Now, you can send your leads to your CRM. So if you got Lofty, Sierra, Boomtown, Follow Up Boss, you can send your leads to your CRM. But what you're going to see here are emails. And the one Gwen sent was actually further down on the list. But we just dropped 2 emails on the 11th that if you haven't sent these out yet, you need to get them out. I would send the email we just referred to. I would send that out first because I think that's going to hit heavy. But we got 2 other emails that relate to the Fed rate cuts. And one is for sellers, one is for buyers. I think this is the one for buyers. Yep, this is the one for buyers. And it talks about the fact that the Fed just cut the rates, that the mortgage rates are holding steady. Mortgage rates don't follow the Fed, they follow the 10-year Treasury. We say that right there. But that there is an opportunity right now for buyers. And what did I just do? There we go. And so we let the buyers know, what is the opportunity right now? Okay, so rates are not going down. The Fed cut the rates, whatever. But what is the opportunity? The opportunity is in the calendar for buyers. And Gwen, she sent out the other email. This one is just as good. Don't worry about the other one. Send this one out because the opportunity is in the calendar, not the rates. And a lot of buyers are tuned out right now because of the holidays. And that creates a nice little sweet spot for those buyers that are looking. And there are seller concessions. There's maximum negotiating power and access to price reductions. And the call to action here for the buyers is to get a list of price reduced homes for sale. You can edit that however you want to. Now, one thing I'll tell you, my wife is a mortgage broker, works with other agents. When you're making an offer on a property, you're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to do what your buyer wants you to do. But try to be a little bit cognizant of the fact that you are a professional in the industry. I'm not telling you what to do. I've been hearing stories about buyer's agents just writing the most ridiculous offers that are really starting to annoy listing agents. Solo, asking for everything in the kitchen sink. Just, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's putting the listing agents in a position where the listing agents go into the seller and they're like, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here with some of these offers that are coming in this time of year. And, where I don't want to say exploitive because, you're going to do what you want to do. And at some point, the seller's going to have to sell. They don't have to sell necessarily. But anyways, we want to make a good offer. And anyways, to that point, you can send this through Listings to Leads, or you can send it through your CRM. What Gwen did is she just copied it. Just highlight the email, copy it, drop it into your CRM, and send it to all of your buyer leads. There is another email right here. This is a great one. This is another one that's going to be phenomenal to engage some of your seller leads. Fed just cut rates. Here's the real story for sellers. Mohammed, no. Whether you send it through Listings to Leads or your own CRM, just copy and paste and you're off and running. If you want to send it through Listings to Leads, and it does sit in an editor, so I can edit whatever I want. And if I click preview, you'll notice that for the sellers, all right, similar, the Fed just cut rates. Right, again, they follow the 10-year Treasury. But what is the opportunity now for sellers? It's the fact that a lot of sellers have tapped out. So right now, there's not necessarily a lot of homes for sale because a lot of sellers are taking their home off the market. And a lot of people are planning to come to the market in the springtime. So if you are a seller, getting ahead of that spring market would be a wise decision. and we're giving them access to our general 100 plus point home marketing plan. So this is one that even if you just signed up this morning, this is in your account, fully branded to you, your logo, your colors. So you don't have to do anything. It's just there. All right. So I didn't have to add the link. The link will be there and it will be to your plan, not mine. All right. And again, for the homeowners, the seller leads in our database, now here we are going to offer them a current home value, a current equity estimate, and a custom 100 plus point home marketing plan. So the custom version is when, again, similar to what I was talking about earlier, it would be when I add their property to my account as status listing presentation. I'll be putting a picture of their home in there. I'll be putting their name so that on the cover, it will show their home on every single image, their name on the cover, their address on the cover, and it is specific and custom for them. You got 2 emails now that a lot of you probably haven't sent. What I would do is I would send the one that we talked about initially first, and then I might send this one 3 to 4 days later. Okay? So these are phenomenal emails. They are great for engaging those leads. I just walked you, and there's actually one more for buyers. So I showed you the Fed rate cut version for buyers, but there's also another one. And again, you not send these out 3 to 4 days apart. Why are more buyers paying attention to new construction? And always read through these emails. They are always editable. They sit in an editor. And here we're talking about the fact that more buyers are looking at new construction because of the incentives, credits for closing costs, rate buy downs, right? Price reductions. And we go through here and we talk about how quality and resale of new construction is dependent on individual home communities, and that the buyer or the sales rep at the builder work for the builder, not for the buyer. They are there to protect the interests of the builder, not you as a buyer. And right, you can see that right here, that part that I just headlined, and that you as an agent can share a list of currently available new construction, builder incentives not available on Zillow or the MLS, and really be an advocate for your buyers. All right, be an advocate for your buyers in providing them your expertise, your experience in this builder has a great reputation for quality. This one doesn't. This one will take care of issues. This one I've heard there are people that have bought into this community 2 years ago and they still have defects that have not been addressed by the builder. This is a community where they actually finished out all of the common areas and the play structures and the pool. This is a community 2 to 3 years in, they've still not done anything. This is a community that will likely have good resale value because a lot of the properties are sold. It's been a few years that it first got started. This community over here is still 75% unsold. So you might be locked into that community for 3 to 4 or 5 years. If you buy there, are you prepared? Are you sure you can hang on for 5 years? Because for the next 2 to 3 years minimum, they're going to be selling homes. And if you need to sell in 2 to 3 years for any reason, you're going to be competing against homes that the builder is still selling. And the builder is going to be able to undercut you when you go to resell. Does all that make sense? Yep. Hey, people, listen, we're talking about that right now. Like we are literally talking about that. So when you're sitting there and you're talking about you need help, that's literally what I'm giving you right here. What I'm giving you is content to share with leads. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind. All of this stuff right here relates to converting and engaging leads that are in your database. All right. So yeah, I'm not sure why people keep saying you need help with conversion because that's literally what we're talking about here. Like I literally just showed you, go in here, sent an email, got one of those buyer leads in her database, responded, and they made a cash offer. And she's got a nice little end of the year commission check coming to her because she sent that email out. So yeah, that's what I've been talking about for the last 25 minutes. All right. So if you need to watch the recording on this to catch all that again, that's great. But yeah. So, anyways, all right, let's get to it. Let's do some ads. All right. And keep in mind, so Mohammed, you say you've only got 3 seller leads, but dude, here's the thing. Probably a third of the buyer leads are also potential hidden seller leads. I've heard the number being even higher, that maybe even 50%. Think about it. How many buyers are first time home buyers? All right. If it's 40%, that means 60% are homeowners that are buying a property. Now, some of those are out of area that you're not going to have access to as a listing agent. Some of those might be investors, but at least half of them are going to be people that are in your sales area that are also going to be selling to buy a home, whether they do it concurrently, after, before, whatever it is. But as you're generating these buyer leads, that's why sending this email, all right, that's why posting this on social media is going to help suss out some of those people. So this email right here is going to help suss out some of those buyer leads that actually are seller leads as well. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. So here's the deal with listing leads. There is a ability to add questions to your ads that will help you with conversion. When you run an ad, right, a Facebook lead ad, name, email, and phone number, that's just default. Every lead with a lead ad, name, email, and phone number. Now, we can add up to 3 questions that they will see before name, email, and phone number. Let me show you if I can. Let me see if I go to this listing, if I go to ads. So for any listing, yours or borrowed. And then I'm also going to show you, if anybody's got a website, drop your website link into the chat. I'm going to show you how to do a custom list of homes for sale as well. So I want to show you an ad so we can all be on the same page. Yeah. And if anybody has an IDX website, drop the link in there. And I'm going to use that to show you how to run a custom list of price reduced homes for sale, pool homes for sale. And let's just go to this ad here. And I want to show you what I mean by custom questions. I should have brought this up a little bit earlier. And there we go. All right. So here's an ad for an open house. And notice the first question: would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Yes, I would. Would you like to be notified first when similar homes hit the market? Yes, I would. In our testing on this, we found between 50 to 70 to 80% of the people will say yes to one or more of these questions. So I got 3 questions here. Would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Yes. Would you like to be notified first when similar listings hit the market? Yes. What's most important to you in your next home? And there's different options right here that they can choose from. And I'm going to say great schools and nearby parks. All right, hit continue, name, email, and phone number. They keep going and will go to your property website. Do you see the value in asking these questions? Now, we got over 20 questions for buyers. We have over 20 questions for sellers. When you ask good questions, you get good answers. And then from there, you can tailor your follow-up. Because now for this person right here that said yes to price reduced, yes to similar homes, and yes to or good school districts, what am I going to do? I'm going to set them up on a listing alert in my IDX for sure immediately. I'm going to call them up, right? And we got the AI text, which I'll walk you through. I'm going to call them up, and in my follow-up, I'm going to ask them, thank you for responding to my ad for the open house. I hope we'll get a chance to see you there. And you said that you like to get a list of price reduced homes for sale and be notified when similar listings hit the market. And that you mentioned about having a good school district. What schools, right? What elementary school, middle school, high school, What schools are you like? What are the ages of your kids? Assuming in this case they got kids, if they say that as a reply, and you can find out more about what they're looking for. Because instead of just having name, email, and phone number and purchase time frame doesn't really tell you much. All right. Knowing that I want to buy in 6 months doesn't really help me engage you at a higher level. But if I know that school districts are important, you like a list of price reduced homes, and you want a list of homes similar to this one right here, I have a lot more to go on, and I have a lot more to engage and offer you than I did without asking those questions. Does that make sense for everybody? Everybody, you do see that? Very obvious, okay? And it's very easy to do. So we're going to do this one, and then I'm going to do the IDX. And Kevin, I will go with you. Oh, who was the first one to answer? Joe Sachs. So we'll go with Joe Sachs first, and then we'll check his website out, and then we'll go from there. Because it'll be the same no matter what I do. All right. So let's go back to the listings page so we can get to the ads work area from here. So you got a listing, yours are borrowed. It's always best to do a good listing. I don't want to do too expensive, too far out. I want a good listing that's in a good turnover area. So even if it's your listing, it's been on the market for 2 months, you might want to find another listing and or wait till we do the IDX, custom list of homes. So I'm going to go click market listing. And then we're going to do a just sold listing. Facebook and Instagram ads. It's going to autofill the location. I'm going to leave it as is. So this is the listing that's in Folsom, California. So I got Folsom, California here. Radius of 15. I'm going to leave it. Lifetime budget. I'm going to change it to 100. The start and end date. I'm going to leave it for 1 week. You can always edit this stuff later again as well. I've got a template. I'm going to change the template. We got 21 different templates down here. For my ads, I like the first one. I like that image on the main image on top. And then there's 3 images on the bottom to give people like a little taste. Like it's hard to see the details, but they can see, oh, there's a living room, there's a kitchen, there's something else going on there. So it's not like a carousel. I don't like carousel ads at all. For the custom list of homes, carousel can be great, but for when I'm doing a listing, this is way, way better. Now, here is what, please pay attention to the next 60 to 90 seconds. This is the most important part. We're going to ask those questions. So I'm going to click advanced options, create new form. So again, click it on for advanced options, create new form. It's not scary. Nothing's going to hurt. And then right here where it says form questions, we just want to open that up and we can see there's name, email, and phone number. Okay, perfect. But if I scroll down, look at all this. Look at all these questions. There's like a ton of them. Now, we could spend 30 minutes in this alone, but I'm going to just point out a couple of them here that I like. So I just scroll all the way down and I work my way up from the bottom. And so, for example, if you got new construction, Gordon, I know you got new construction in your area. Would you like me to send you current builder incentives or specials? That could be a phenomenal one because when I follow up with these leads and I just say, hey, what area are you looking in? And I'll get over to you the most up-to-date builder specials that are not even on the MLS. They're not in Zillow. And you would only know these if you are talking to these people on a regular basis, which I do for my buyers. So I'm acknowledging that they requested the information. I'm adding a little bit more context of the value that I provide. You can't expect buyers to be able to call all these people. I've already got that for you, and this is what I do. This is not new construction, so I'm going to leave that one alone. We've got the same question repeated 5 times because they hit different buyer profiles. What's most important to you in your next home? And this one is for first-time home buyers, and the available answers are related to the fact that they are first time. The second version is for family move-up buyers, And these are going to be different answers for family move up people. The third one is for downsizing and retirement. So if you got a single story home in a community, 55 and over maybe or not, doesn't really matter, but a 2,200 square foot single family home with a primary bedroom, obviously on the first floor, that could be for downsizing. For second home buyers, again, that could be a great one. And then I'm going to go with family move up. And the replies are going to be great schools, safe, family-friendly neighborhood, open floor plan, large kitchen, family room, extra bedrooms or flexible office space, private backyard or outdoor, and close to shopping or dining, or all or most of these are important. So that's going to be one. I'm going to do three total. See if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. That could be a good one. In California, you can make up to $250,000 and qualify for down payment assistance. Ask your lender, right? If you don't know if your home that you're selling qualifies for zero down, ask your lender. Hey, does this home qualify? Are there zero down programs for this home? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to engage people. And that can be a great question for that. And then one more, and I might do price reduce. Would you like a list of price reduce homes? And I can even reorder. I can drag and reorder if I want. And now when I go back up here, see if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. Would you like a list of price reduced homes? And what's most important? I'm going to click create form. I'm going to close advanced options. I'm done. I don't need, if you want to get in there and screw around, you can go ahead. But that's it. Create ad. Now in my follow-up, I've got a lot more to follow up with than just name, email, and phone number. Name, email, and phone number, that's how I'm going to follow up. I'm going to automatically send these via listings to leads to my CRM. I'm going to use listings to leads to follow up, whatever. But now I've got, because of those three questions I custom added based on the property, based on whatever it is that I'm interested in as an agent, I've got much better follow-up capabilities. And I have seen 2 to 3x engagement from adding those questions. So our default are just, what's your time frame to buy, and would you like my ultimate guide to buying a home? Those are fine, but when I change them up when I get my lead notification email or it goes into your CRM, you're going to see what those three questions were, and you're going to see the responses to them. So now when I call you, I text you, I email you, I can make sure, again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I can make sure I'm addressing your request. You wanted price reduced. Great. You wanted down payment assistance information. Great. You wanted a home in a great school district. Great. This gives me a lot more to go on. This gives me a lot more opportunity to provide value to you as a buyer versus you just responded to an ad with name, email, and phone number, and I keep calling you to find out when you're ready to buy. Do you all see the difference between those two scenarios? Do you see the power in asking the right questions and how easy it is to do that? Now, the last thing here before we move on to the next ad for the custom list of homes, and then we'll get to a seller ad, AI text follow-up. If you don't have AI text follow-up in whatever system you're using, so if you're using Lofty, Bold Trail, Sierra, Follow Up Boss, Brivity, whatever you're using, you can click in your listings to leads profile, click CRM integrations. And I don't think there's anything we don't integrate with. We can send leads to pretty much every CRM out there, and you can have your follow-up do its thing, phenomenal. But if you don't have AI text follow-up, and we've also got email follow-up over here, but if you don't have AI text follow-up, click subscribe. This right here, John Summers did an open house ad. And in October, the lead was generated. It took about 30 days for AI text to qualify that lead. Just they stay in touch, they don't forget. I always recommend you as an agent stay in touch with follow up with these leads as well. But it was the AI text that engaged the lead first. Once the lead was engaged, John turned off the AI text Every time the lead responds, you'll get an email. It'll let you know exactly what the lead said so that you'll be dialed in to everything that's going on with the leads. And so when the lead was qualified, John just tapped the email, turned off the AI text right there on the page that the link took him to, called the lead up, got the conversation going, and they wrote an offer for the first home that he wrote an offer. They got the offer accepted, and that's going to close on 12/30 this year, December 30th. So another agent, all right, Facebook ad, AI text, followed up, offer accepted, and it's going to have a nice closing. So yeah, sign up for this. I'm telling you right here, it'll take you 120 seconds, 2 minutes. You're going to click next. You're going to add a credit card. I've already got it from before. You'll add your credit card. It's half off for the first 2 months, I believe. And then on the next page, you'll select the AI agent name. And do you want it to work for buyer leads, seller leads, or both? It's like literally that easy. All right. All right. Let me see. And I'm going to tell you guys, always open houses, going after expireds with our stuff, open houses. Facebook ads are great, but if you want to start really growing your business, open houses. All right. Because you're belly to belly, and the same tools for the open houses. Hold on a second. So grandstand coastal living, grandstand coastal. Hopefully I'm spelling this right. Let's try that again. Grand stand. Is that right? Grand stand. COASTALLIV. I probably just did one L before. And no. Grandstand. Looks like I got it right. All right. Kevin, let me try Kevin here. Sorry about that, Joe. I apologize. I'm not sure if I'm just misspelling it, but Joe, CAMPOS, realtygroup.com. Perfect. All right. So now let's hope we can do what I want to do, which is I need to be able to grab a link for IDX. So I'm going to go to, let's see what we got for neighborhoods, Middleton. We got property listings. And let's see here if I go 1.8. All right, perfect. So I can see that the domain, the URL just changed. So this should work. So I'm going to say 800,000 on up, and living area I will leave as is. And I'm going to take that link. In listings to leads, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to ads, and I'm going to go create Facebook ad, custom. And I'm going to say custom list of homes for sale, Middleton pool homes, right? Whatever. Single story homes for downsizing, price reduction, list of price reduced homes for sale, right? Whatever. What I would do is look in your area. What are the homes that are selling the most, and what is the common denominator in that? Is it homes with price reductions, which is probably accurate for a lot of you? Pool homes in some areas, maybe up north, nobody wants a pool. You can't even use it 9 months out of the year, so you wouldn't do pool homes. But is it downsizing, right? Is that a niche that you want to go after? All right, so we're going to do that. We'll say lead ads, buyer, create ad, and website. I'm going to drop in that link right there. Now I'm going to hit fetch. Nothing's going to really happen. All right. Discover the charm of Middleton, yada, yada. Okay. And for here, man, you know what? Later on, after this call, I will drop a couple of, I'll drop some ad copy into the mastermind group that I've done for a few clients that works really well. And I'll share that with everybody. So for the text, don't copy my text. I'm just going to say, get a free list of Middleton. I don't even know what state that's in. What state? Wisconsin. Middleton was. You don't need to put Wisconsin. Everybody in Middleton knows they're in Wisconsin. Middleton homes for sale with the latest price reductions. Many homes not available on Zillow or anywhere else, right? Whatever you're going to do, click to get this free list. Now, I can change the headline, I can change the description, location, Middleton. I'm probably, there we go, perfect. Wisconsin. Budget, I'm going to do 100. It's going to run for 1 week by default. Now, image and video. What I like to do for IDX is grab a couple of photos of different. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this here. And smart, right? This is what you want to see. I want to see this. I want to see this. But I'm going to grab a couple of images of different homes in that area that fit that list. Does that make sense? So in this case, I would grab some homes in different price points within a range. So I'm not gonna go to 150,000 to 10 million, but maybe, and again, I'm just gonna make an assumption here that the average price range might be between, let's say, 400 and 800. So I might upload a photo right here, upload image and video. And if I click on that, I might upload a photo on the 400,000 range, maybe another one at 500, maybe another one at 600, maybe 700, and maybe 800. So I'm going to upload 5 photos because I want people to see. Now, again, for a listing, I would never do this. All right. For a listing, just that one image template. But for a list of homes for sale, maybe it's pool homes. Maybe it's single story homes for downsizing. Maybe it's homes in a particular school district that's really famous or well known that a lot of people want to be in. Maybe it's price reductions. All right. You get it? One client was doing homes on acreage. So one or more acres was the thing. So there's a lot of different ways to slice that and create new form. So we're still going to do the questions, create new form questions. And again, just like before, I want to ask the right questions. For example, I could do, what is your desired price range? I could do still price reduced, because even if I'm doing pool homes for sale or homes in Middleton, now if I'm already doing price reduced, I may not do that one. So maybe I'll leave that one off. Qualify for 0 down. Yes, I want to ask that one maybe. Would you like to be notified? Because maybe they get to Kevin's site, but they don't sign up. Maybe they click right off. But if they said yes here to the question, would you like to be notified first? Well, now I've got explicit permission to add them to a listing alert. Right? Is that 3? That's 1, 2, 3. All right. So desired price range, down payment assistance, and be notified first. Create form. And now for a buyer ad, I can retarget, custom audience. There's advanced options. There's an autoresponder, which I'm not going to worry about. I can turn that on and you can see, you can edit this autoresponder, create an autoresponder right there. But create ad. Now, again, don't copy my description right here or my ad copy. In this webinar, I'm not doing like ad copy training. I'm doing the mechanics and just for this ad here, just the mechanics on how to do it. If I forget, somebody wants to remind me, I've got some ad copy that has worked for multiple people really well, which I will give you. Then all you got to do is swap out you would just swap out you'll swap out, you'll see what to swap out, because in the one ad, for example, it's 1+ acre and it went through, that was the language being used. And you just swap it out with whatever your niche is going to be on that. Does that make sense for everybody? Next up, let's do a seller ad. And real quickly here, let me go back to some of these questions. You can copy and paste this into Gmail. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Gordon, that was back to your question a little bit earlier. How does AI do the prequal? Yeah, no, you'll see all the questions because as the AI is engaging, you're able to both see inside the account, and again, the AI will let you know A, when it first initiates, and then B, every time the lead responds, you're going to get notified again. But I can always go into my leads tab and go to that lead, and I can see the entire conversation at all times. Oh, Grand Strand. I'm sorry, Joe. Sorry about that. Apparently I'm blind. So but you saw how I did it right there. It'd be the same idea with your IDX. Sometimes you'll go into the back end and create the IDX link. Sometimes you can do it like I did just on the front end, either way. And Mohammed, the link you're going to use is that IDX link from your website. Now, like we saw with Kevin's website, which was set up perfectly, is I would just make sure I've got this dialed in. Whether it's one or two listings you're going to let them look at, either way is fine. All right, either way is fine. All right, now let's go to just sold. And I'm going to share with you how you can do a just sold or even sold. So if you've had any sold listing in the last 3 to 4 months, use that even as a selling agent where your buyer bought the property. That's a sold listing. And in listings to leads, if I go add listing manual, notice, check this out right here. We have people where they are the selling agent, means their buyer is in contract. They will add that as pending, and they'll just show I'm the showing agent, right? I'm not the listing agent, I'm the showing agent for this pending listing. So we're not going to create a YouTube video. We're not going to auto post it. We're not going to create the listing. Sorry. We're not going to post to YouTube. We're not going to create the tools for the seller because you're not representing the seller. So just mark, if your buyer's in contract, mark I'm the showing agent. If you got a listing that is pending as a listing agent and for whatever reason it's not in listings to leads, add it because pending and sold are great for this. Now, if you got a sold listing where your buyer bought it or you're represented the seller that's not in listings to leads for whatever reason, again, you can add it. And we have just sold selling agent, right? I represented the buyer. Just sold listing agent, and just add that listing to your account. So pending, just sold, right? Anything in the last 3 to 4 months. And if you need to go back 6 months, we got a status called sold. So let me just show you one more time before we get at it. There's actually a status called sold. So that could be appropriate for something 5 to 6 months old. Mark, okay. Yeah, Mark, okay. Technically, if you sold a property in the last 6 to 12 months, it can be considered just sold. Yeah, fair enough. Thank you. Perfect. And again, as either the buying or the selling agent. Now, you're never going to misrepresent and say you represented the seller when you didn't, but you were in the transaction. You were the selling agent. All right. So let's go back to the listings page where all of our listings are sitting. And I'm telling you, if you want to get listings in the next few weeks or start adding to your pipeline, get to our expired training. Oh my God. We do it twice a day. It's phenomenal. All right. We might slow it down a little bit. Instead of doing it twice a day, every day, 5 days a week, we might move to 3 days, like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, twice a day. But it's 7 a.m. Pacific, which is 10 a.m. East Coast, and it's 4 p.m. Pacific for the afternoon, evening, 7 p.m. East Coast. I'll show you where that link is for the training in a minute. But again, so pending sold. Now we've got home value landing pages. We've got the PDF guides. You're looking at $15 to $25 a lead, which adds up really quickly. If you're looking for seller leads, listings, doing the expired stuff, doing the email I just shared with you, all right, doing the email I just shared, We had another client, she sent another one of our emails to 173 leads in her database, 17 conversations. She got a listing within 7 to 10 days of sending that email out. So these are the kind of things that people are doing, all right, to get listings. But let's do this. Just sold, listing, Facebook and Instagram ad. Can I use a landing page and LDL for the? You could. Yeah. In fact, we got price reduced landing pages. I'll show you that in a minute. Location Folsom. So here's the ad. Another home in Folsom has just sold. Your home's value has been affected by this home being sold. Click below to text, all right, just sold in Folsom. Now, notice I have just sold in Folsom in the image. We have more buyers for homes in Folsom. Give me a second. I'm going to do something here. I want to do something. Follow-ups. I'm going to right click, open link in new tab. I don't want to lose where I'm at right here. We have added to your account. A lot of you may or may not have seen this. Essentially, the golden letter as an email. I know this is so random. We took the golden letter and we created an email for pending listings. All right. I know, sounds nuts, right? And I then, another home. Yeah, right there. I edited mine a little bit. And let's see here. You'll see it in your account. And so mine, 1015 Raleigh Street Folsom just sold. My 100-point marketing plan for selling homes has gotten over for this home. All right. That's where I was the listing agent. Let me go to the other one. Another home. There we go. I think that was the one where I was a selling agent. Let me see this. And, oh, wait, I still got, that was the same one I just looked at. Sorry. 1015 Riley. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. So this is obviously between the listing agent and the selling agent. You can just change the language. And again, these emails are in your Listings to Leads account. And this text right here actually works great. For the pending and sold, so remember I said we got landing pages, we got PDF guides, $15 to $25 a lead. Pending and sold come in between $8 to $15 a lead. But again, remember, when you do ads for buyers, a third of them are going to be homeowners, have a home, and doing our expired and open houses. Because with our open houses, we got tools for the neighbors. People coming through the open house are going to have, again, a third of them are going to have a home to sell. And when you use our tools, like when you have your 100% home marketing plan at the open house, when you use our tools, like for the PDF guides, and I've got this at my open house, 12 mistakes. And I was just talking to a broker the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying she uses these at her open house. These are the print flyers for the PDF guides. And she goes, she doesn't even tell people to scan the QR code to download the guide. She'll just see them looking at those flyers and start talking to them and start engaging with them. And so even though people, like I said, she's not encouraging people to scan the QR code, she's talking to people that are checking them out. Because if you're looking at that flyer at my open house, you must be a homeowner and you have a conversation. People take the video from the media library and they play it on the TV or a laptop for the video version of the 100% home marketing plan. So again, you're belly to belly with these people. You're there. You can have a conversation with them. You can use tools from Listings to Leads to set up your open house so that when sellers and homeowners are coming through, those neighbors are coming through, we're going to be able to engage a lot more of them. So running ads for seller leads on Facebook is great. We've had people get listings from it, no problem, for sure. But there are also quicker ways of doing it. All right. I just want to put that out there. Yeah. Mark says at least a third. And yeah, it depends on the area. 100%. Definitely. All right. Regardless, let's get back to this here because I don't want to say too late here. I know people have other things. So my point is I got the language here and I'm just going to show you. Just sold in Folsom. We have more buyers for homes in Folsom. That kind of goes along with that golden letter, doesn't it? And I'm going to get rid of that line right there. I want to make sure everything reads well. what I want to show you, if I go to change template, and I'll be done in 3 minutes. So give me 3 minutes. If you're in a rush, I'll be done. See where it says just sold in Folsom, we have more buyers? There's a little edit icon right here on the top left. Now I can edit what's in there. Just sold in Folsom, we have more buyers. I can change the image. Maybe that's not a great image, so I want to use a better image of the front of the house or whatever it is. Maybe it's 3 more images of the front from different angles. I can click there and upload a image of the kitchen. I can upload an image of the living room. I can change the color, right? I typically like red just because it pops on Facebook more. And like before, I can also change the templates. So we got 21 different templates. And alternatively, I can upload a video. I can upload a custom image from Canva, whatever I want to do. So all of that. But let me show you the custom questions, because for the seller ads, they're different. And again, under advanced options, create new form. I love the ones for the sellers. Form questions. So again, what is your time frame to sell is checked by default. I'm going to uncheck it. And so here, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? I love that question. I'm going to walk you through the role play on responding to that in a second here. If I scroll all the way down, see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. Had a client tell me she had 2 people on the first day say yes to that question. And the responses are yes and customized for my home, not right now. She had 2 people say yes and customized for my home. In her follow-up, thank you for requesting a custom version of my 100 point home marketing plan to get your home sold. I'm going to come by and take a photo of your home. But now, I'm sorry, let me back up. Thank you for requesting this. What is the home's address so that I can create this for you? It'll feature a picture of your home in every image throughout it, including text codes and QR codes linking to the property website for your home that will be created. So it's a great follow-up. Oh my God, this is so good. If people say, even if they just say yes, the basic yes, but if they say yes to customize, oof, your follow-up is great. See, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months? It's maybe at the right price. No, I would not. Okay, great. Get your home's value and instant cash offer options. That can be a great one. I also see how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. Yes, no. And again, I can reorder all of these. So I'm going to click create form. All right. I can retarget current leads. That's actually going to be checked by default. I can use a custom audience if I want to. For these, I'd like to let these just flow. I like to let the algorithm do its thing. But I can do one ad with the algorithm, and then I can do another ad to retarget, right? Either way. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the budget, because you're thinking $10 to $15 a lead. No, think about this. If you're only generating 2 to 3 leads a week, or even 5 or 6 leads a week, that is not statistically relevant to anything. And that's why I like the buyer leads, where we've got the sellers coming along for the ride, doing open houses, doing expireds. But for my seller ads, I love doing the pendings and just solds because they're cheaper, but you got to spend money. You're going to have to spend a minimum of $100 a week, if not maybe 150, because then at least I can generate 10 leads and conceivably engage 2 to 3 of them, especially with those questions. Because real quickly here, if somebody says, yes, I would sell in the next 1 to 3 months if the price was right. And my follow-up, I'm going to follow up and say, what is your price? What is the price that you would sell at? They're going to say $3 million. All right, great. $3 million. Perfect. When do you have 5 minutes for me to come over and take a quick look and see if that seems appropriate? Because I've got 53 buyers and I get more buyers every single week looking for property. And if your home is going to be a fit for them, I would love to get somebody in there for you. But you need to get over there first for 5 minutes to see if that's something that is going to work out. So I don't care what they say for the price. I'm not going to argue. I'm not even going to blink. I'm not going to laugh. I'm just going to say, great. When do you have 5 minutes for me to come over there? I got 24 buyers. Some of them have been looking for months, and I would love to get them into a property in the area and let them respond. All right. If they say yes to how would AI help me get my home sold faster, there's a lot of different ways, but one of them is AI visualization where, if there's a kitchen that's outdated, if there's a feature of the home, like for example, if you don't have a pool and pools are popular, if you don't have a deck, but decks are popular, if you don't have a barbecue area, but barbecues are popular, we can use AI to essentially virtually stage your home to include a pool, to include a barbecue area. And then what we do is we show the original photo as is, but then we'll also show the photo labeled AI enhanced with these features because buyers are not great at visualizing what your home could look like that they may really be wanting. So they may want a beautiful barbecue area. They may want a pool because they got kids and they want to be able to hang out in the backyard. If we just show them the original photos, they don't they don't see that story. But if I also show an image with a pool, with a barbecue area, right? We label it as AI enhanced. Now they can visualize what that would look like with their kids playing at the pool, hanging out by the barbecue. So this can help sell your home faster by using simple AI techniques. And then I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, the other one was a 100-point home marketing plan, right? That's pretty self-evident. Does that make sense? All right. Now, again, PDF guides, you can do the same questions for the buyer guides, same questions for the seller guides. You can edit the images, you can edit the text, right? Everything here is editable. If you're going to run ads for these, again, you're $20 a lead. Seller guides, I can change the image, right? I can customize all of it. The beautiful thing about listings to leads is the ads work the ads work area is so simple, but it's got so much customization. And somebody was telling me the other day, they're like, Scott, you guys have been doing this for so long that your API and the algorithm with Facebook is so good that that's why, a lot of places leads are what, $10 a lead. Ours average $4 per lead, but you still got to again, if you're just generating 3 to 4 to 5 leads a week, that's the first problem. All right. You need to be generating really 3 to 5 leads a day. Anytime you have an ad that's running that is producing leads that are more than they should be, turn the ad off and run it again. Typically, that will reset the algorithm so that I'm not spending too much per lead. For a buyer lead, I would say anything over $8 for sure. Even and if it's depending on what area that you're in, I want to be below $6 a lead, if not lower. All right. Anything higher. Now, again, I got to know if I'm in Texas or New York, that's going to be a little bit like Dallas and Houston for some reason. I don't know why. Can be a little bit more. That's just the way it is. But yeah, so typically, like I said, typically sometimes the algorithm can just go a little bit weird. And then for whatever reason, I'm generating leads at $10 a lead for buyer leads. I want to turn that off and just rerun it. Now I'll look at my image, I'll look at my text. If even the default looks good, I'm just going to chalk. It's like unplugging the TV and plugging it back in. Or like in the old days, you smack the back of the TV and all of a sudden it gets right into focus. All right. So for those of you that remember those days, that's how we used to do things. And the algorithm is similar. And last thing to Mohammed's question a little bit earlier, we got the free home values, down payment assistance. We got price reduced landing pages, right? And so all of these landing pages have a full set of marketing tools. So I can do, for example, a Facebook ad for a custom list of price reduced homes for sale, right? I can edit this. I can edit the image. I got the whole ad just like we did before. And if you go to view, here's the landing page that people are going to land on. All right. I edited the image. And so if you don't want to use IDX for price reduced, And then you can also create custom landing pages. So if I go, for example, custom buyer, custom seller, right? Here's a buyer landing page for pool homes. Here is a buyer landing page. Let's see what we got. Stop renting, start owning. All right, so I can create custom landing pages for all sorts of things as well. So if you don't have IDX, list of homes for sale with a fireplace, oh, I should bring that one out again. That's actually a good one. Get instant access to homes with fireplaces. See homes for sale with a cozy fireplace. Imagine calling up like, yeah, I might have to pop that one back into the mastermind group. So you get the idea, right? You can do custom landing page for anything. Yeah. All right. Free, they love it. Yes, they do. Definitely. Who doesn't like that? What's the difference between primary text and short description? It just where it places in the ad. You'll see it when you're doing it because the preview will show you what that is. All right, everybody. I got to run, but yeah, last question here was, so you can create the landing page, grab the URL and plug it. Yeah, 100%. Yep. And this was a Chat GPT image. I just went to Chat GPT and I said, give me a picture of a nice, cozy living room with a fireplace. And it took me a few iterations. The first time it had nothing above the mantle. And so I said, put a nice photo and some candles on the mantle. And it did. And yeah, in fact, if somebody wants to remind me a little bit later, I'm going to try to remember in a little bit here. I will put in the ad for custom list of homes for sale that worked really well. So you can have that language. And then I'll put this in there as well. This is a great, I'm glad I saw this because, man, this is the time of year. People, and it could even be price reduced homes with a fireplace, depending on where you live, right? Some of you in Florida, maybe don't do fireplaces, but for those of us in Northern California, in the Midwest, in the West, in the East Coast, Northeast, yeah, fireplaces are nice. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. Get into the mastermind group. Oh, to join us on those expired calls, go to announcements. So top left announcements. And if you scroll down, you might have to scroll down a little bit, but expired and seller lead pipeline accelerator, 7 a.m. And then the same thing here for 4 p.m. And it says 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. East, and then 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. East. And it's just a Zoom and you can sign up and you can join us. Every day is a little bit different, right? But we'll cover some of the basics. And yeah, I want to see Rob. I want to see Gordon. I want to see you guys getting those emails. I want everyone to get those emails out that we covered in the beginning. And I want to see your feedback. And I want to see who's got listing appointments in the next 24 hours and who's going to get some listings either signed or promised, confirmed before the end of the year. Because someone's going to be able to put $1 to $2 million in the pipeline between now and the end of the year using that email. That I can guarantee somebody will. Hopefully it's you. All right, everybody, get out of here, get to work. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.